Here we go.
Yeah.
Good morning and welcome to Commissioners Court regular session, Monday, September 8th. We have a full quorum present. Carrie, you certify the meeting was properly posted. Please rise for prayer and pledges. Anthony?
Our Father, we humbly bow before you this morning, asking for your presence in this courtroom, that you may guide these gentlemen in the direction that they need to go for the residents of Walker County. Father, it's with heavy hearts that I come to you and ask your blessings upon my family. In other words, my mother-in-law. She just passed away just a few minutes ago. Father, we know that you know this. Father, we know that you have this in your plan. Father, we just ask, Lord, that you lead that family and lead all of us as we go through this day. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Or just individuals with liberty and justice.
That's just like,
Pledge allegiance to the.
this is one state and God.
Why like this?
I got one citizen's input. He's going to talk during public comment. We'll pass on that. Consent agenda contains 21 items.
I don't have anything to pull. Like a motion, we accept who's gonna. Like,
Moved and seconded. All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. Number 22, discuss and take action on reallocating unused funds from vehicle upfit to purchase equipment. Sheriff's Office. Chief?
Morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Filed by the auditor's office, the budgeted budget fund that there's money left over. Actually have equipment that like to purchase, which we already unit. Company actually has a special right now. If you buy 4, you get fifth one free. And so we have one more invoice to pay. I don't have the actual dollar amount what's left in that account, but because of the timeline, the sale only runs through the end of September. So I'm trying to get it before the court to ask you whatever's in there we can use to purchase these radar units left over. So,
sound good to me, Chief. I make a motion to approve all the unused money from what vehicle upfit to be used, whatever you need it for, is to purchase those radar units. What is a radar unit?
yes, sir.
All right.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, raise your hand.
Thank
Motion carried. 23, discuss and take action on approval of policy 318.
What you got, Amy?
Just wanted to clean up policies 3.18. The policy number 3 said that 2 people will be sent to the institute each year. I'd like to change that to just say nominated employees will be sent, or they'll be selected during the commissioner's court meeting if funds are available. So it could be 1, 2, however many you decide. And then wanted to take out number 5 that says non-elected employees need to be employed at least 5 years to be eligible. That way then y'all can just approve that basically during number 4 during the nomination process.
Sound good to me. Anybody got any issues with it? I'm fine with it.
Yes, and then I'll renumber it.
Sound good.
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, raise your hand. Motion.
Thank you.
24, discuss and take on renewal of C2360-23-011 road material. Frost crushed stone.
Morning, Cheryl.
It's that time of year with all of the existing bids and contracts that we have, and when we sent out the renewal notices, Frost crushed stone came back and said that they would need to increase their pricing for fiscal year 26.
Okay.
All right.
And I just need Joe's approval.
Make the motion to approve agenda item number 24 is presented.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. 25, discuss and take action on renewal of C 2360-23-011 road.
LSD Walker, trucking has been the same thing. And this is what they submitted. And needing an approval to renew that.
Make the motion to approve agenda item 25 as presented.
Second.
Moving seconded, all in favor, raise your hand. Okay. 26, discuss and take action on award of C 2360-25-002 commissaries.
Our commissary for our jail services had expired, and so we had to reissue a new solicitation for those services. And once we renewed this or issued the solicitation, we received the following bids from Lone Star Commissary and Keith Commissary Network. And we are asking the recommendation from the committee was to award to Lone Star Commissary.
Who was on the committee?
It was Davila, I'm sorry, Chief Davila and
Shelby Panzer and Nicole.
they're all from the jail.
Okay. That's what I was curious for. I mean, did they come from the jail? So
They all came from the jail.
Second that.
Moving seconded, all in favor, raise your hand. 27, discuss and take action on award of C 2360-25003 jail physician.
And as well, the jail physician's contract was up and we issued that solicitation, receiving the one RFQ from Dr. Andrew, which is the incumbent as well.
and did you have other people apply? He's the only one?
He's the only one that we received.
I'm just curious.
No, he was the only one.
Make a motion to approve agenda item 27.
Moving seconded, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. 28, discuss and take action on the purchase and payment of a new 2026 Mack Pinnacle 64R from Vanguard Truck Centers through TIPS contract number 240901 with budgeted funds from Road and Bridge 4.
So I've just got one that needs to be replaced that we're spending tons and tons of money on. I talked to Patricia about this one. I'd like to spend, purchase half of it in this year's budget and then pay for the other half whenever we get our carry forward funds this year, budget next year. So I wanted to split it between the two budgets. So my motion is 28.
You okay with that, Patricia?
It's fine. It's really the same thing as paying from it all this year, paying all of it this year. So the budget amendment that I'm presenting later shows it all coming from this year. But if we see there's not enough money there, then we'll split it as
Okay.
recommended.
Road material, trying to finish up some programs.
Okay. Yeah. You got a second yet?
Yep.
Are you, hang on, sir, are you, this is just for a chassis?
It's just,
All right, so then you're gonna, you're gonna do another one coming for the bed later?
next budget cycle, yes.
Okay.
The reason why I'm get this one now is it doesn't have tariffs on it. It's a 26 model, but before we get the price increase right here at the end of the year.
Okay.
So that's where we're at.
And I got a motion and a second, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. 29, discuss and take action on order 2025-95, amending the budget for September 30th, 2020.
This is part of our year budgets. We do each year a lot of moving money around, moving this money that's in the fund budgets to the projects budget so that it can be spent in the next year, but also covering a lot of overages and budgets this year. So the first one is general fund contingency, transferring $6,000 to the county treasurer budget for credit card fees. These have continued to increase and definitely need to be covered. It's included as a budget budget increase in next year's budget also. Court at law equipment, $3,700 for PCs and like equipment. 278-4403, the same thing. litter control, the same thing, 4430 equipment, and then fuel, increase, 13,392 to the courthouse security fund. This is for the officers that, sit at the front desk. Revenues did not cover, the cost, so this is making them whole. $8,000 increase in, the county's insurance, 7,251 for, planning and development equipment. And $500, basically Andrew's requesting to use money he has left in his capital budget for some additional equipment. So that's an increase. In the special contingency, 476,290 going for other funds, and you can see that in both of our contingency funds, very low. But indigent defense, $40,000 to court at law, $50,000 to the 278, $50,000 for autopsies, 10,000 for ambulance transport services, 6,500 for a capital murder case, 110,000 engineering contracts and planning and development department. And then the $184,090 ARP interest earnings to be transferred to the long range planning fund. Any questions on any of those?
Well.
Okay. And then in the IT department, 34,000 for maintenance hardware, courthouse security, and the jury summons software being transferred. Elections fund, recording revenues and overtime for the elections. Facilities, $50,000 transferred to projects. CPA flooding and repairs was budgeted in the current year. That project did not get completed, so moving that money to projects so that can be completed. And centralized cost, this is showing the money coming in for the autopsies, the ambulance service, and the insurance. County auditor, financial, and county auditor moving project monies to the projects funds, so those can be used next year. County treasurer, money coming in. Operations, moving money, actually it shows money from, where's the money? Oh, transferring to other courts. It's budgeted in the central and then it gets transferred to the other court. Court at law shows the money coming in, well, 278. Constable precinct 1, transfer between categories, constable 4, transferring monies to projects so it can be spent next year. Adult probation showing the money for the safety hardware that was approved during the budget process come out of the current year. Planning and development, the money for the engineering going in, and the 500 for the capital vehicles. Litter control, the money coming in, and the totals of the transfers out of the general fund, and the money and the excuse me, and the money going along the planning fund. Healthy county showing the money coming in, allocated. When we get to the legislatively designated funds, there's about 3, 4, 5, 6 there. And this is money that was spent in the special funds this year that are coming from funds that were dedicated from Road and Bridge. What this is DR 4781. This year we estimated what the revenues coming in more, what the expenditures are going to be. And this is settling up to the final numbers, adjusting the revenues and expenditures for that. The Forest Service money, the 105,000 divided between the precincts that were eligible for that money. EMS services, transferring some capital equipment money, the 26,120 going to the projects fund so that it can be spent last year, and then transferring some money around. Mainly recording insurance money that was received for that fund for vehicles. and increasing the vehicle maintenance budget. General projects fund, showing the money coming in, the 114 from the general fund, the 26 from EMS fund, and then showing the cyber grant revenues, for a total of 233 revenues coming in. And then bottom is basically distributing those funds, to the appropriate line items. There is some transfers in and out of the contingency fund, 10579, the 94,000 coming out. 12,000 of that is going to the engineering contract that was approved, as the cost share with the city for, I think, street project. 16,000 for the SO trailer that was approved during budget. And then 72,412 for that Constable 4 vehicle that was approved during court, to be purchased out of current year money. Then closing 3 projects out, we had a records retention project of 920 left in that project. $4,911 from the Phelps Water Supply contract and $700 from the generator project. So that all that money's allocated there. And then be happy to answer any questions on any of that project fund. And the last page, long range planning showing the money coming in. And then recording the 2 new grants, both of the CDBG grants, the MITMOD programs, one the 3,750 and the other one 4,731,250.
Or received it funding?
Grant.
No.
We haven't received funding.
Oh, no, you won't receive that until you spend it, but this authorizes the budget for the grants.
Okay, gotcha.
We have made one payment on that grant, engineering and preliminary service, one payment on each of them.
All right, thank you, Patricia.
Wow, thank you for keeping up with all that. That's a lot.
It's a lot.
Make a motion, we accept the 2025-95.
Second.
Moving thing, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. 30, discuss take action on order 2025-96, classifying fund balance to the financials.
This is something we do every year. It's the fund balance at the end of the year, how we're going to classify it in the financial statements. And generally, what the order says, it's the same as it's been forever. But basically, any fund in the road and bridge fund, the EMS fund, the projects funds, legislative designated, all of those stay with the budget and they move forward. They go into the fund's fund balance, but then they don't get transferred back into the general fund balance. They stay with the fund. And then in the general fund, the money that was used as one time from last year, we show it as committed for those. And then any money that's committed, like a grant, it stays with the purpose for which it was originally committed.
And we do this every year anyway. Make a motion to approve order 2025-96.
Moving second, all in favor, raise your hand.
Thank you,
Motion
Patricia.
carries. 31, to take action on Texas Association of Counties Walker County liability renewal for fiscal year 2025-2026 for Walker County coverage at a cost of $274,909 with policy revisions as noted. Questions?
No, I don't have any questions.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Moving second, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. 32, discuss action on Texas Associated County liability renewal for fiscal year 2025-2026 for the 12th and 278th Judicial District, cost of $8,649 with policy revisions as noted. That'll be my motion.
Second.
Moving second, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. 33, discuss and take action on approval to submit a grant application on the Rural and Tribal Assistance Pilot Program. That'll be my motion.
Good morning.
Morning.
We have an opportunity to submit to the Rural and Tribal Assistance Pilot Program. We are I have been working on the application to use the funding for some traffic studies, feasibility study, environmental constraints analysis, and it'll have a community engagement process as well for precinct 4 well, it's several areas within precinct 4, but so focusing on that southern region of the county. We're hoping that it's gonna address some of our evacuation challenges that we have in that area, the roadway safety, congestion, all in that area. So we did go and get an estimate from BGE Inc. Her name is Megan. We have to submit that, or we needed to submit that as part of the application if we decide to move forward with it. So her estimate came back at 1.7 million, which is what I'm writing the grant application for. We're gonna ask them for all of the funds. We can go up to 2.5 million, but she said 1.7 should give us a little bit of wiggle room. It does not require a local match, so there will be nothing from us at 0%. So the application period opens today, and it's a first come, first served basis, and I am just seeking approval to go in and submit for the grant, so that hopefully we can get that funds and get some of those traffic studies and things done for that area.
Second to your motion.
Moving second, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries.
Thank you, Reggie.
Thank you. 34, discuss and take action sharing costs for Ernst parking lot at City of Huntsville.
How much is the cost? I didn't see any back up on it.
Backup was last week, last quarter.
Well,
Last one, did we?
Yeah,
I don't remember it either, so
18,000, something like that.
the city gonna do
It was
that.
18,315. Total cost is 36,630. So half that's the 18,315. Estimated includes 2-inch mill and overlay, which is similar to the pavement work. They're going to contract it out.
Brian, over
Yeah.
who does most.
Well, if we're gonna continue using the parking with Gerard's, well, so
Yeah.
I'd recommend doing it in my opinion. I'll make a motion to approve,
I'll second it.
Funded by
funded by half the cost of it from our side and the city.
projects.
Projects.
Continue.
Projects, yeah.
Motion is second. All in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. 35, discuss and take action on the placement of historical markers for Honorable Richard Williams around the courthouse. I got this email. Y'all know as much as I know. If you read the backup,
It was pretty interesting.
so they got a couple of these coming. So I don't think it's at no cost to us. We just got to approve to place it out there, and we can get with Larry on where to put it. That'll be my motion to approve.
Second.
Moving seconded, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. 36, discuss and take action on the placement of historical plaque of victory or death letter from William Barrett Travis in the courthouse. Be my motion.
Second.
Moving seconded, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. 37, discuss and take action to approve Walker County applicant and funding to the 2025 Huntsville Leadership Institute for Larry Whitener. That'll be my motion.
Second.
Moving seconded, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. 38, discuss and take action on developing a capital improvement plan for Walker County.
I had this placed on there because the more I've been thinking about the Justice Center project coming up, the more it kept growing in my head as to it's an opportunity for the county to look forward just in general, everything we have, and try to be sure that we're that we're looking at everything that we need to be looking at. And I felt like the way to do that would be to create a capital improvement plan that we could adopt as a court that would give direction to the committee that's already talking about the Justice Center, but then any others that we might create, or any consultants or engineerings or whoever, with a plan going forward that the entire county could, all the departments and citizens would have input in. So I created a really quick little throwdown. I guess it's a couple of pages there, proposal. I'm just gonna read some of the bullet points. I think we need to create some goals, and I've got them listed up there is like the important thing about the 2032 on the Justice Center is that's when our debt rolls off on the current jail. And it gives us an opportunity to either create new debt to use that 1.3 cents or I guess trick to use that 1.3 or 1.4 cents, whatever it is by that time might be less to to help pay for new facilities beginning in 2032. But between now and then, there's a lot of things we at the county that we're all aware of that we don't maybe pay enough attention to that we could probably address between now and 2032. So the bottom three bullet points are that basically to look at the space needs of where our current departments are, buildings that they're in, the kind of staffing they have now, and looking forward between now and 2032, which sounds like a long way off, but it's really only 6.5 years, and kind of put a plan in place looking forward as to how are we going to get your staffing levels in place. We know we have 1,000 houses, 2,000 houses a year being built in Walker County. So we know we're going to need public service, public safety, public health improvements and increases in staff level between now and then. So do we put a plan in place or just hope that when it comes up, it passes? I like the idea of having a plan in place. Physical needs of existing facilities. We have a lot of structures. A lot of them need improvement. Some need expansion, some need modifications, some need TDLR, some need ADA improvements. Some need, don't scroll down, you're going,
Okay.
go back up to my bullet points, think a little bit more. There you go. So we have time between now and then to look at all of those also, and then determine the most efficient use of our current facilities. But in the bullet point that I didn't put there is also maybe look at, do we need other facilities between now and 2032? After we do the top three bullet points, looking forward and have a plan in place, do we have the room for those departments and their future staff in buildings with access in place, or do we need to make those improvements? So that's a huge umbrella to put out there, but this is a good time to be looking at all that with, and you'll show at the end how fast you get to 2032 and why it matters. Strategic growth. We know, well, we just did a grant for traffic studies. So if somebody wants to look forward and say, hey, are we just going to wait for the traffic to get better, or are we going to get out in front of it and figure out what we can do? And I think that's kind of what a CIP plan does for the county. We've never really had one, but the fiscal responsibility between now and then, once you identify all your costs between now and 2032, you got to figure out, can you afford them? Will you afford them? What's it going to cost to afford them, and how are you going to afford them? And then the public trust, I'll skip the third one just because it pretty much speaks for itself there. But the fourth bullet point, I think is as important as anything, is that we get it out there in front of the public, because every year as we go through budget, we're not really on the defensive, but there's always a lot of comments about the cost of government and prices keep going up and why am I paying for this? And right now there's a big spotlight shined on property taxes, which for us is a big piece of our income and our big piece of our revenue that we need to cover our expenses. So if you put out there, here's our plan, come be a part of our plan, give us your input on our plan, serve on a committee on our plan, help us build our plan, help us approve our plan. It makes it a little bit less painful going forward. All the pain doesn't go away because a lot of people don't get involved and they just wait to comment after it's done. But I think getting the public involved up front is huge. So go ahead and scroll me down a little bit more. This is pretty much what I talked about at the beginning. Just looking at what we've got, facility-wise, people-wise, structure-wise, location-wise, just everything in general. And it's a big project to do that. That's a huge project. I might keep on scrolling down, please. And then after you do your assessment, figure out who is going to go where. That's not something that I would want to do. I think that's best for a disinterested party to do that. And the bottom bullet point, I added precinct 4 location. That's a conversation we've had. I think we need to seriously get that into the planning queue. I don't know that precinct 2 does in the planning queue. Do we want to leave them on Highway 75 North there? The JP courts, I know they've got ADA issues, they're undersized. And I think JP 2, in my opinion, for what it's worth, needs to be looked at. Is it in the right place? It's on the North Pole of precinct 2, and the 90% of its population is south of it. So is that something to look at? That's just me putting an eyeball on it and giving my 2 cents, not saying, hey, let's go do it. But that's what I'm saying. It just kind of shows the necessity of everything to look at. And I guess a bullet point I didn't put up there is we have a grant application with TxDOT that would include improvements around the courthouse. Assuming we don't get that grant, we know we got $1 million improvements to do to the structure outside the courthouse that need to be done to be safe. Well, probably 500,000 of it to be safe, and then some other stuff to make it look nice, like it to me, like it should look. So we need to have a plan in place for that, because if we don't get the grant, to me, you can't just say, oh man, oh well, hope nobody gets hurt out there. Because we've said it here in the public forum numerous times. We know that our sidewalks and entry and stuff could stand some improvement to make it the way it should be. So not really going to sweat the relocation plan yet. Keep on coming down. This is the important one right here to me. This is how fast you get to 2032. If you start next year with your facility assessment, departmental needs, that takes a long time. The 26, 27 to figure out how you're going to pay for it, hire an architect, firms. The whole time this is taking place, public input, departmental input, staff input, engineering input, back and forth. Anyway, just kind of going all the way down the list. Time flies by. You can look over at the city at their bond issue, setting aside the challenges they've had since they've done the bond issue. They did that bond issue like 6 or 7 years ago. It's been, is it 10? Okay, thank you for that. It's been 10 years since they did their bond issue, and they're not done yet. So that's how fast time flies by on these things. So I would like to see us at least bring somebody in. I looked at I think it's Hayes County. Maybe it's Hayes County. I have to look it up and see where I go. But I found another county that did a capital improvements program, and they had a consulting company come in and help them go through it. So I would like to at least see us bring in somebody who does it. Maybe it's them, just for grins, and talk to us about what they do, why it's important, how much it costs, the time frame, the scope, the mechanics, everything, and then let our court make a discussion on whether or not we want to go down that road or not. So that's my speech.
Sounds good, Bill. So how we bring them in?
I think we just make a phone call and see if they'll come up to us. So I would like, I don't know if it needs to come from me, probably needs to come from the judge's office, to have an agenda item set up to have a presentation by the guy, by somebody. And based on that information, figure out what we're going to do going forward. But anyway, it was important enough to me that I've wanted to bring it here for a conversation and put it up to us for conversation, and see where that's.
And you're on a time frame anyway, right? Judge, like 10 years to have this completed.
Yeah.
So you really do need to get moving on it.
Yeah.
As I hate to say
Did
it.
you reach out to Hayes and see kind of
I did.
spin on any of this?
I didn't do any of it yet because I wanted just to see, if it's a dead dog,
Yeah.
I don't want to do too much. But if there's interest, and to me, it sounds like there's at least an interest in having somebody to come visit. And I know he or she or whoever, they'll come talk to you and bring a high dollar bullet point, presentation and show us what they do, who they done it with, and stuff like that. But
No, I think sure be interested in getting them in here.
okay.
Judge, I know we've been down to down on the coast and looking at that Justice Center they built,
Chambers.
courthouse, Chambers County, everything.
You went down there, didn't
Who were they using?
The people building it did the facility
People building
study.
it Did it?
I'd be open to anybody. I just looked at one that did it. So if you know somebody that does it, that you're.
No, we'll reach out to both.
Okay, that'd be cool. All right, I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, we'll bring that,
I got one question.
you? You're gonna make the phone
yeah,
call,
and
Judge?
we'll bring it back to court.
Did you, don't you have a little committee that you appointed and been working with?
Yep.
Okay.
We talked about doing this.
Huh?
We talked about doing some of this,
Okay.
so. All right, 39, discuss and take action on authorizing county issue a request for proposals for qualifications to perform a salary study.
All right, I have another.
38.
Which one do you want? Do you want the,
Yeah, I said I'd bring it.
or the PowerPoint?
I want the one that I
Sorry.
emailed to
Yeah.
Ally this.
Want the spreadsheet or the PowerPoint first?
Just the PowerPoint. I don't need this. I don't think I need the spreadsheet. I think I copied the spreadsheet. We spent a lot of time this past budget talking about, salaries at, EMS department. And then looking around, and I have some friends that work down in Montgomery County and, city of Conroe and stuff like that. And they were talking, they said, man, EMS is challenging. Law enforcement is, getting clobbered, and we'll have some more steps on that. But what, we talk about a lot up here, are we in competition? Where do people go? What does our salary need to be? And stuff like that. So with that in mind, I looked at a presentation that was put on by Montgomery County, and they put together a group and kind of started brainstorming. Theirs was specific to law enforcement at their county level. So these were the bullet points that they came up with, is to kind of guide them as to what they wanted. They chose to take an aggressive approach to their salaries in law enforcement and build a plan going forward. So go to the next one if you would, please. Thank you. So this is what their goals and objectives they established. And I'm not going to read them. Everybody can see a monitor there. But they basically wanted to get them, keep them, and compensate them for going over and above their basic levels of competence, I guess, in public safety. So with that, go ahead and go to the next one, please.
Before you move up.
Go back up.
On that one, the second one there, it's interesting that we have people going south.
Yeah, and so do they.
Theirs appear to be going further south.
They are going south.
Isn't that something?
Yeah. All right, next one now. So I did, and this is all about the public safety piece here, but this is, to me, it's a symptom of something that reflects our entire pay scale. So it was easy to get these numbers in a real short period of time. So even though I'm talking about public service and deputies and stuff like that, the idea is when I get to the end, we'll kind of spread it out a little bit. So doing some really quick research on the left is our 2025, 2026 salary for our sheriff's officers, deputies. Chief, you're deputy 1, deputy 2, deputy 3. How do you, what's their stair step? Do you go by years or time or service, or what do you do?
Deputy one, basically, I'm only allotted so many positions, so I have to have an opening in that position for them to be moved at all. So if I have to have someone basically quit, and then it'll be moved where they go by from the deputy 1, they go by time, and then everything after that goes to promotional boards from deputy 2s to 3s, from 3s to detectives, sergeant, everything all the way up to my position as promotional boards.
Okay. But the first part is just time. Your deputy 1 is time. Okay. All right. And that kind of transfers across, and apologize for not getting with you prior to, but it was a pretty quick.
No, sir.
Right.
But to promote, somebody has to quit, right?
Correct, sir.
So there's no way for anybody to advance until somebody else quits.
Correct, sir.
All right, so So this is Montgomery County 2025, 2026. You can see in the second category, their entry level is $13,000 higher than our entry level. City of Conroe is about, what is that, 12,000 and goes as high as 79,000. City of Huntsville, I couldn't find this year's, they haven't posted their salary schedule, so I got one, this is from 2024, so I guess this might actually roll up twice, but they'll be close to 65,000, so they're about 10,000 higher than we are. And they've all got Montgomery County has a very aggressive pay scale going forward, and City of Conroe is marching step in step with them. They're having kind of a competition down there, for lack of a better way to say it. Anyway, so I wanted to show this. Once again, this I think is a symptom of what is happening to us here, and whether we like it or not, these salaries are running away from us. And
Where are we actually budgeted at? Are we budgeted at the 50, that 8 or 6 or the 66?
56 is what they come in the door at. The 66 is that market midpoint.
But that's
thing.
what we have them budgeted at.
Just to clarify, they are budgeted at market.
Yeah.
It is the discretion of
Right.
the office where they are.
$3,000 less, not 14.
For which one? What are you talking about?
From between us and Montgomery County. On a deputy one.
And I'll go back to a conversation I made before. If you have to hire somebody in at the upper end of your entry level payment to compete with the lowest end of somebody else's scale, you are not competing. Because if they come in at 66,909 and it's 3 or 4 years, they have nowhere to go.
But Montgomery County just has 70,298. There's no range there
That's just their entry, and it goes up.
for 0 to 4 years.
We'll see over there. I get rid of the other ones I had. There's on the far right-hand side, 26, 27, they go to 81,952. They have $11,000 raise next year
Okay.
in their entry
So
level.
answer me this, Bill. How is any of that SB 22 money?
Nope.
Are you sure?
Oh, well, down there.
Yeah, down there.
That I have no idea if it is.
That's a big question because it makes a lot of difference.
Well, it's still money. And to
Yeah,
get
it's still money, but it's money that's funded through the state, not through the county.
that I didn't ask that. I didn't ask anybody anything. I just
Yeah.
took the numbers from here. That's all I have is what they posted out there.
Because they're too big. All right,
So that's not them.
all right.
Thank you. for that.
But there is over 700,000 people down there.
Oh, yeah, they have a lot of people.
10
And,
times.
and the sheriff's department is over 1,000 people, 20,000, 1,100 employees.
Okay.
To our, how many you got, chief?
100.
So, I said it 100 times, we'll never be able to compete with Montgomery County. And Montgomery County will never be able to compete with Harris County. This has been
But
going on since
But they
the
have chosen,
beginning of time.
they have chosen to compete with Harris County. And that's what they did on their previous bullet points. They said, we want people to come here. So they went to 95% this year. They're 95% of what City of Houston is paying, and Montgomery and Harris County kind of copied that across. So they're 95% of that. And then next year they actually go above it. So and it goes back to those first two
Yeah,
slides.
because they're probably overall, they're richer than Harris County is to begin with. As far as verbatim tax base.
Well, they might be, so that's.
So they're a unique entity in their own.
But everybody else is going, Fort Bend is doing the same thing that Montgomery County is doing. They're Harris County and City of Houston, from my own personal opinion, they kind of put a finger on the scale and kind of skewed us everybody else up. I mean, they have police officers in City of Houston now. They're gonna be making $100,000 a year
Well,
without
I
overtime.
would want them to make that much to put up with that kind of crap down there,
I hear you.
you know?
I hear you. So
I mean, I know people that's been at the sheriff's department in Harris County. He's passed away now. Was down there 30 years. It was exactly what you expect
I'm
to
sure.
work in Harris County.
Yeah.
You know, and he never could come up here because of the money difference. I mean, but you give it up. I mean, you know, you got to deal with something.
So that's why I feel like, I just use this as a symptom. Yeah, I didn't want to, I mean, I don't want to come up here saying I'm advocating for
Yeah, no, I
our
get it.
sheriff's office,
It's just,
but we,
Well, I am advocating for them.
I agree that they're, like, you know, this makes it obvious to me that we're gonna have to do something for them.
You gotta do something to get close enough to where we retain our experienced officers.
Yeah, but if it's,
And I don't know what that something is, but we gotta get to that.
and that's where a salary, I hate the word salary study, but a salary review, I'll say that, a salary review that stays alive and has those conversations with Montgomery County and these other counties. And this doesn't include, other than City of Huntsville, this doesn't include our two other competitors, which is TDCJ, mostly on the security side, but some clerical stuff too, and doesn't include SHSU either. Our two other, we have three competitors or cohabitants, whatever you want to call them, here in Walker County that we do kind of compete with directly. Hey, I remember sitting, I think it was with like maybe with Chief Whitecotton several years ago, and I asked him why he couldn't get people, and he said, "Well, my biggest competitor is 800 feet down the road, right across the street. They can go past my driveway 800 feet, make a left, and make $5,000 a year more than they can make, you know, coming here." So, we have several years ago, 3, 4, 5 years ago now, we did a salary study. When we said it, we were like, no, if we're 80 to 90% right on this, that's a good hit, being that we had not done one ever. So, but then after that, we didn't really follow up with it. We haven't gone back to it. We had a bunch of people put applications in or ask for requests in this year's budget for salary modifications. Just across the board, we didn't do them. And I think that was kind of fair because it's hard to pick and choose. But I think we need to, whether we go back to the same people or not, or if we RFP it again, I think it's too much for our staff after 3 or 4 years to go back and try to do something again in-house. I think we almost have to go back out. We have a lot more information this time that we can provide. We have this stuff, you know, we can have all this stuff built and given to them. So I would like, heck, I got an agenda item here.
But the salary study y'all had done, did it not have like a phase 2, step 2? What do you do when you get to done with this?
No.
Nothing. It was just
Yeah.
right now.
it was the first one we'd ever done.
Yeah.
And
And we learned,
got you from what was it, 5 to 7 years was supposed to be market, I think, Patricia.
Yeah.
Is that right, or Amy, one of y'all?
Yeah.
Yes,
Um,
definitely in the proposal, they quoted for follow-up, annual reviews, periodic reviews. Yes, it could, the contract allowed for periodic reviews at that pay scale. It never has been done, but the contract allowed. They also, in the contract, it allowed for the county to contract for a subgroup of the whole group. And they would have done, and they, under that contract, the county could have gone back and said, we want to look at law enforcement, we want to look at EMS. So the ability to do it was there. The doing it did not
but
happen.
it wasn't there.
Yeah, and I haven't talked to a department head anywhere that actually talked to these folks when they was doing that
Yeah.
studies. So I mean,
It's for sure of any other salary study I've participated in is that there was no departmental involvement in it.
and I don't particularly like that, you know, I mean,
Just a generic.
it was more generic, like you're saying. So I mean,
Yeah.
if you do another one, you need to really structure it where they talk to all the department heads.
So that's what I put in here as an action item to authorize the county to issue a request for proposals or qualifications to perform a salary study. I would like to make that a motion, and then we approve it. Start that by just asking Amy, contact our person that last time and find out if they're.
That seemed like y'all were happy with the one last time.
Well, we weren't, it wasn't necessarily we weren't happy with it. We, like I said, we were probably 80% happy with it, which wasn't bad.
Well, none of us probably knew what we was doing.
Yeah. But what a thing it did, I think it did combine a lot of departments that were very similar that we had broken out. I want to say it shrunk our
Well,
number.
yeah, it pulled like counties though too. I mean, it pulled something that was comparable to us.
Yeah.
Population, the way we're set up as far as government land, college. I mean, I don't remember, Amy, they pulled Galveston County, Angelina, I think,
And Bastrop maybe?
Bastrop. I know Bastrop was one of them. There was 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah, I can't remember. That's been too long
And I
ago.
think if
Yeah.
we do it this time, we add the 3 local entities that are here with us and try to compare with, with what they do. So it could be, I think it'd be a little bit bigger.
Did they pull the city?
I think they.
I thought they did.
City and it's Sam, just
Yeah.
because they're.
Yeah.
next door.
Yeah, we had them. I don't know if they had TDCJ in there. Don't know that one.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Maybe a discussion of a step merit system, how that would be implemented.
And I think that's a part of something that in another county or city and forgot what it was. And they one of the ways they paid for it, they paid for some of their increases was that they adopted a step that locked certain positions into certain payment heights, even up to 5 or 7 years. So you couldn't bring a person in as a deputy one at $66,909 without asking for some help on that. If your first couple of years were 56,980 to 59,05 or something like that, and then they budgeted their budget accordingly and said, here's how much money we have for that, and then incrementalized up from that. So
And I think when you look at our pay study, since we only look at midpoint really, because that's all people are allowed, but that was based on a 5 to 6 year employee.
Yeah.
If you look higher up those steps, up to what's called maximum on the scale, and you placed your employees based on their years of employment, it's a whole different picture if you're looking at midpoint. So if you've got a 15-year employee and you're paying them at the 5-year level, if you moved them up to the 15-year level, it's a whole different story.
Well, then we've all got them.
Yeah. And
That's kind of-
a well-known.
That's kind of where I was at with this whole deal. I'm not 100% for a new study, not 100% against it, kind of right there in the middle. But if we're not going to use the full capacity of the last one we did, then that's where I don't understand doing another one. Got the whole midpoint to maximum on all of our employees that we're trying to retain, our 7+ year employees that we're concerned with, right? If we don't figure out a way to fund that, then doing another study that we can't afford to fund anyways, I'm not following that.
Well, we know how to fund it. It's just we're gonna make ourselves do it. No, I mean,
Get everybody in here about how high we're gonna raise the taxes.
and then, I mean,
The state's capping that too, even
Yeah.
if we wanted to. So I don't know. I think we had a pretty good salary study. I think we've had those years in between where you were talking about the 80%. We made some adjustments to it and, tried to correct that other 20%. Again, I'm not 100% against it. But if we're not going to look at it at our long-term employees and having some, I'm okay with the 0 to 6, 7 years to let the department heads figure out where they need to be in that range or any of the ranges. I'm okay with that. You got a starting employee or you hire somebody that's really great and you want to bump them to there. After that, I think it needs to be a step program. You've been here another year now. All right, we can adjust you to this. Your department head looks at that and said, you know what, Joe and Bob, you got great attitudes. I'm gonna give you that step. Danny down there, you got a terrible attitude. We're not giving you that step this year, but at least gives you, a way to get you where you need to be. So,
That sounds like a motion over there. You making a motion or what?
Well, I mean, we spent, my hang up on it is we spent what, $50,000 on that last one or somewhere thereabouts.
Or less, yeah.
And if we're gonna go full stem with it, you might as well at least double it. You know, I'd much rather take that money and dump it back into what we're trying to do versus doing another
Yeah.
study with somebody that says basically the same thing we've got, when we know that we need to bring the market value up regardless. You know,
So are we going to commit internally to looking at all something different categories of employees we have, compare them?
We have no one to do that. It's
Yeah.
gonna take
No,
an
no,
outside source to do it.
and
I mean,
that's the only hang up.
Yeah, I
That
mean-
nobody, I mean, like I said, they pulled employees that were comparable to other employees from other counties that compared to us. And,
Why don't, well,
you know, job descriptions, you know, if we're talking about rewriting job descriptions, is that what you're talking about?
I think if you're going to, let me back up. I don't
Because
know.
my concern there is you're gonna get a lot of them that's gonna doll this thing up.
Yeah,
You know?
but that's where a person that looks at those for a living says, you're a widget maker. That's what you do for a living. And I see you have certifications in widget 5, 8, 9, 12, and 74. And so you're thinking you should pay, you should make $5 an hour more. The law says, in your job description says you need to be a widget maker 1. That's the only thing this pays for. So so you're not, it's nice that you have all that, but your job description says you must be a basic T-Cole certified officer to come to work for our sheriff's department. It's fine that you're certified in SWAT and all that other stuff, but this position says you must be a T-Cole level, whatever levels they are, and be this guy. So I don't know that I'm opposed to calling the company that did the last one for us and just finding out what's there. Let them make a presentation here and say, hey,
why
y'all.
don't we start with something like that, Bill, so we can get them in to talk to us and go that route.
Okay, I don't know that we need action on that. Can we just ask you or Amy, somebody to call them and put it back on a future agenda? And let them do a presentation? I see you're hiding back there behind Lisa. There you are.
Sounds like a good job for you, Amy. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy.
Yeah.
All right.
Never mind. I'll keep
Yeah.
going.
All right, thank you.
I was gonna pull it for you, but I don't think it's gonna do you no good.
Got it.
Thank you, Andy.
Ask and bring it back.
Sure.
So, y'all did a solicitation for this study. And, I'd like to go back and look at that to see, if it's possible to go back to the same person without going out for a new RFP, to make sure that, number one, when did that contract end? Did it? And if it did, then I don't see pulling him back in, unless he has a buy board contract or something, because I don't think he's gonna do it for free. And the funding, where it would come from and how much was it gonna be?
I don't think we're talking about going out and doing it.
Talking about
We're just talking about calling them for a presentation.
See if they'll give us one.
Yeah, just presentation. Yeah. Yeah.
So what they can add on to what they've already done?
Yeah.
Is there a second phase to that? What do you do?
Yeah, I think Cheryl she does need to look at the contract and see if it allows for it though.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe
Yeah, I'm assuming the contract, I mean, it's been four.
it's got to be, and if it
It's-
is, that's fine. It'd just be like, I mean, we have people come in all the time. They just give a presentation, say, I can show you the world. And that's what we'd like to see from them, would be like, hey, this is what we did for y'all. This is what some other options y'all might want to look
Yeah,
at.
in which, when you go back out for the RFQ or P, whatever you're talking about, they may not get it anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Cheryl.
But if they want to give us a presentation for free, we'll listen.
Only
Amy, talk to Cheryl before we do much.
There you go.
Okay. We'll pass and bring that back. 40, discuss and take action on the purchase of a new Tahoe for Constable Precinct 3 from current year funds. So we forgot all about this during budget. We were gonna talk to Steve
Steve. Yeah.
and we never heard back from
Oh, we
Our
did.
report.
Yeah, I talked to Steve. So I did talk to him. That's the one that put the $92,000 in for the Tahoe.
Yeah.
And all the upfitting and stuff like that. I asked him, would you be interested in a pickup truck? And he said, not really. He really prefers to have the Tahoe. He feels like it'll come in less than the $92,000. So my motion would be to approve agenda item number 40 from current year funds,
From project contingency funds.
project contingency funds. Thank you.
So we didn't budget for it.
We did not.
We did not.
I don't want. What was?
I remember talking.
We talked
He needs it
Yeah, he's
for,
got one that's, it's,
200
He's gonna turn it.
30,000 miles.
yeah.
it's that old one that they got.
Yeah.
All right.
Second.
Any other discussion? Moving second, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. All right, fun stuff. 41, public hearing concerning plat number 2025-016, replat lot 7 and 8, block 1, section 7 of the Wildwood Shore subdivision. Time is 10:01.
That's kind of nice. Be grouped with it.
I agree.
Who wants to go first? Mr. Days?
Good morning, Steve. How are you doing this morning?
Right.
You guys all very, I see.
Go ahead.
Stand.
Yeah.
So, gentlemen, I'm stepping in here on behalf of John Lee, and he is the owner of the adjacent property, which is now what we would call a replat 9A of the Wildwood Shores.
What do you do?
I'm an attorney. That's correct.
Sorry.
And I mentioned this beforehand, on behalf of my client, just to figure out how this all works out. I have filed a petition that is on file with the 12th District Court. If they petition the quiet title, declaratory judgment, et cetera, to establish the what the true boundary line is. Where we are is this. I listened to the recording last time of everything on YouTube. We watched all of that. And there's some dispute as to where this boundary line is. Notwithstanding what was done by, I believe this gentleman, there it is. Notwithstanding what was done by him, I reached out to ServTech, which is the company that did the original plat of this subdivision back in 2001, 2002. I asked them if they did any GPS coordinates whenever they were setting any of their stakes or any monument, and I was informed that no, they did not.
I'm not the surveyor.
Okay.
I work for the county.
Okay, I'm sorry.
The thing was done by me.
I apologize. The survey was here last time, I guess, so forgive me. So I reached out to ServTech and asked them about this about the existence of any monuments. And they indicated because of the fact that the part of it was on Lake Conroe, that a bulkhead may have been placed that may have caused those monuments to be lost. And to the extent that those monuments are no longer there, basically the gentleman at ServTech told me that it would be anybody's best guess as to what the actual survey points are going to be. Mr. Lee has hired Mr. McAdams, who did one of the surveys. We've hired him. We've asked him to review all of the documentation that he had originally looked at and all the documentation from the surveyor and come up with his analysis. He's busy and he has not gotten to that determination yet. I've been in communication with the surveyor for Mr. Curry. And where we are is this, is that we want to make sure that we get this property line right. And that's the end of the day where we are. There was already a replat granted to my client in 2020 establishing this boundary. And if we're going to change this boundary, we want to make sure that the boundary is being changed to the appropriate location. And that's why we filed the lawsuit in the district court. We understand the scenario where Mr. Curry needs to, he needs to merge these lots to be able to do what he needs to do with the build and all of those things. But at the end of the day, he purchased the property subject to the original survey that was approved in the plat 9A in the first place, right? I mean, that's where the line was. And in his statements last time, he referenced the fact that he couldn't acquiesce to the current line because it may affect his ability to build his dock or boathouse or whatever the case may be. My client has a larger portion of Lake Conroe for lakefront. But again, that's what he took the property subject to, and we're asking to change that to something different now. And we're asking this committee, or we're asking this court to pass on this hearing to allow us to have the determination at the court level. And then from there,
if everything is as Mr. Curry's survey proposes, court will determine that, and there will be no objection from us moving forward.
Thank you.
All right.
Don't stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Name for Miss French.
Colt West with so, with that being said, I guess first go ahead and can we refer to these maps that I handed out to y'all? And get our copy as well. So,
Is it the same that's backup, Andy?
No.
No.
We got it up there.
Okay.
with it. So here what we have is everything, all the information that we've been able to acquire between all the different survey companies that we could, or the surveys and survey companies that we could get hold of. And we have what we believe we know the culprit to like where this issue's coming from. You know, when Mr. Lee did his plat, there was no neighbors to contest this, no issue to be found at the time because there was no one there to even contest it. But now that we're having development in the section, now we're starting to see. And where we believe what we're seeing this issue is from the radius of the road. And when Mr. Lee's survey and plat was done, we've come to figure out his radius was about 48.4, which is going to bring his lot closer and make it a little bit wider. And that's where we're getting this issue. So from what we can tell, we're seeing that not only is he going to be approaching slightly on his adjoining neighbors, but he's also to the right of the road slightly. And if this continues, what we're going to see is every lot going north is going to have to be pushed to make up for what originally accounts for the plat, the subdivision plat. So with that being said, I just want to really just kind of show this to y'all and kind of give you an example. Since last time I was here, we didn't have the entire picture for y'all to view and see. So according to the subdivision plat, though, we're not taking anything that Mr. Lee was due when he bought this property. We're made sure to even show all the back lines along the bulkhead. And the bearings are a little bit different because it's a different state plane than when it was originally done. So with that being said, we're pretty grounded on our opinion on all this, and we would just like to kind of move forward with this and get this approved so they can handle this. And if not, I just really trying to not make it back and forth back to this court. And, we've already got the process all the way to this point. And if we have to amend the plat later, if they have another surveyor come out and give us convincing evidence that, or a judge at a civil court convinces us otherwise, or tells us otherwise, that we can come back and amend it. We just really would not like to start this process over since we're already right at the finish line of it at the end of the day. Right. I think that's all I really have to say, unless y'all have any questions for me.
Yeah. Gentlemen, I believe Mr. McAdams.
Yeah, we'll call people. So
Okay, sorry.
who else wants to talk? Mr. McAdams, you want to talk? Anybody? I don't care who wants to talk. It's public.
No, I think Eric has said everything I want to say.
Andy, you got anything on this?
Mr. Eddie, what about you? What's your take on this?
Well, as I told Lee and his attorney, it's going to take me a month or two to review this because you're talking about something I did 2022 to review my judgment that I made then based on any new information that's in. Having said that, I did have reviewed the plat that Surf Tech did. Plat's 4 foot out perimeter. Plat is 4 foot out that 4 foot is somewhere. So my contention was when I first set that corner was that the best evidence is the corners that are on the ground. Mr. Glassman said, Mr. Fuller said. So I used those. I relied on those based on the fact you can tie all the corners you want in there. It's still 4 foot out. Still 4 foot to contend with in that subdivision. The only way to resolve that is re-subdivide it. Is to redo the perimeter and reset, and nobody's going to do that. Nobody's going to pay for it. So sad if you did, there'd be corners moved all like, Mr. West said, all the corners would be moved. And you've got houses being built, fences built. So
Wow.
for me, the best evidence was what was on the ground. And the only reason I'm here today is to try to find out what I'm gonna review to better focus my review, why my corner wasn't used for, why it was ignored. That's what I'm trying to find out.
Okay.
And I believe Mr. Curry wants to speak. He's on Zoom.
Mr. Curry, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, I just want to get it done, get it replatted so I can build my home. I don't know exactly where things are supposed to be because I'm not the surveyor. Mr. Colt, he went back 3 times to go from all over that peninsula to find out what the exact places should be for the pins. And he did a lot of work because I kept asking him, please be absolutely sure before we replat to make sure this was all defendable because there is a dispute. And I did not want to create problems with my neighbor at all, Mr. Lee. I just want to go forward.
We just wanted accurate.
Yeah.
I made. Hold on, Mr. Lee. Go ahead.
I really don't have anything else to say
Okay.
other than I want to build my home.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Lee?
Yes, I made the first and second time when the survey was there. The first time he put a pin there in the this new pin, new location. Actually, the second time he come, he removed the pin. He was not certain at all because he found the pin is Mr. McAdam put there. And then he said he went back and talk with the owner. The third time he come, he put a pin back again. This is how he comes 3 times. So my impression is he was not sure just what to do, and then that's why he comes 3 times.
I would like to.
Okay. Stand up and state your name for Ms. Frank.
I'm Heather Henneke. I'm the owner of H&H Professional Land Services. And the reason Colt went out 3 times is the first time we went and surveyed it, found all the corners. And I'm pretty much survey tech underneath Mike Rube, who signs our surveys. And so I reviewed the work Colt did. And was like, something's not right here. My clients live on 1.5 feet of land according to the recorded subdivision plat. So that's why Colt went back out the second time. What was it?
Second time
We set the corners of how we felt like the boundary should be matching the original subdivision plat. The third time, you just went out to stake the house, right?
So first time I went out, did the initial. Second time I went out, I set the new corners that we believe that we have set now.
Yes.
And that's when I met Mr. Lee for the first time, and he clearly had a dispute with it. So I went ahead and told the office, we went and pulled our rods just so we can do further survey work. So we're not gonna cause what we're essentially gonna cause. And then the third time we went back out to set, and we've been to a 4th time just for a final going across the entire section.
Yes.
And getting as much information and we still said the same.
And we were able to reach out to because the plat that's recorded at the courthouse is not very legible. Everybody knows that. So I did reach out to the engineering company that did the subdivision, and they were nice enough to send us a PDF of what they had, which is a very legible copy. It's not signed, but it matches within a couple of hundreds of what we did, which does not agree with Mr. Lee's survey. But once we started looking at the property corners, I noticed that Mr. Lee's property is pushed about 1.5 feet into the road right away. So he's still getting his 112 feet, but because the radius has changed 1.5 feet, he's getting more land. If it's pushed back 1.5 feet on the right of way, he still has his 112 feet. So it's not paperwork issue. It's what the iron rods that were put in the ground by Glesman, which I think is Moon Survey.
That's what we figure, at least they've either acquired their information or all their
Yes,
records.
and we've reached out to them too, but they won't call us back. But, I mean, we feel confident what we did. I mean, it's just gonna, I think it's more, this is gonna be more of a civil suit. Later on, it's the, he still has his land. He still has what he's supposed to have on the ground. It's just the placement of the rods, like Lesman and Moon were just not, they weren't put in the ground correctly.
What we believe all the surveys from that point on.
Yes,
As far as we can assume, it was done in 2017.
yes.
No
Yes,
survey was provided to us that has all the full text description on the bottom.
yes.
And we've asked for that over the course of the last month and we've never been given it. So we can only assume when Mr. Lee bought the property around 2017 is when that was done. And most of the surveys are post 2017, including the Glasman rod.
Yeah, it's in Glassman and Moon, and I think there's a Fuller rod. They're all,
Post 2017.
yeah.
So
I
what
think
we
that's-
find, I believe it's from 2003.
Yes.
Actually, the survey earliest we found is 2020.
Anybody else want to make a comment?
I just want to make one follow-up if it's okay.
Hey, Ally, can you mute June?
Hey, this is just a basic statement. I understand not wanting to be, we're this far into the process and not wanting to have to come back again. But if we agree in this process that they're correct, and we go to the lawsuit and figure out that it's different, then we're coming back here and doing the exact same thing either way. So there's not really an efficiency argument to be made here. It's really a question of what the court decides. And then after that, we have the replat based on that determination.
Anything for public comment? Yeah. Anybody else? Let's go. All right, time is 10:16. Public hearing is closed. Move to 42, discuss and take action on plat number 2025-016, replat of lot 7 and 8, block 1, section 7, Wildwood Shore subdivision. Andy? And Brandon?
I mean, we're sort of back where we were last time.
Yeah.
The applicant, the owner of the land that's under application or not. They both presented additional information to you guys. And last time, it kind of finds itself back in that same, from a administrative standpoint, the application for replat or any plat by that matter is supposed to be from the owner of the land. And so there seems like a dispute over the ownership of the land. Platted, unless I'm missing something. Feel free to correct me anything in the room, but unless I'm missing something, I think that's where we're at. So court's discretion, Clinton may be able to give you some additional advice outside of my administrative. So I did consult Clinton, and this is not the court to determine property lines. This is a civil matter. It needs to go to a different court. My recommendation, as is, we pass on this. That's going to be my motion to pass with the ability to bring back at a later date.
I'll second. 2 seconds.
After court. You do something, figure it out. Yeah,
Yes.
don't just bring it back
Well, that's
next court either.
When y'all get it, was
Yeah.
it clear?
Resolve it and then bring it back to us.
Whatever it is, not my focus of what we're doing here, but whenever y'all get that done, that's my motion.
I got a motion and a second. All in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. 43, discuss and take action on Waverly Manors at High Meadows Development LLC request for variance to section 4 and 5 of the regulations for Walker County driveway permits, designs and materials regarding head walls and of end treatments for the Manors subdivision.
It was under my impression that we're doing the same thing that they've drawn up, unless it's changed that we did for like Texas Grand Ranch. There are head walls on, we issue the permits out for the commissioners do the complaint. There are some head walls in place and some. Yes, as far as formal variances on that, but there are some in place. The request here is to utilize these head walls. I don't know if anybody's here from the applicant. They're right there. Oh, okay, great. Their request is to utilize these head walls. Our policy strictly require sloped-in treatment still in there, sloped-in treatment, unless it's a 1/4-inch tube pipe, and then it doesn't require the sloped-in treatment. So that's what's currently in policy. So it is different than policy, but it's not outside of some of the practice,
Right.
the existing stuff around the county for sure.
Yeah.
So that's why we have it before court. They're looking to use a non-quarter inch steel and then do a head wall on each end, some thin treatments. Have their lever. The only thing I'll qualify is there's a comment in there that staff says the rule has changed. We're not of the opinion that the rules change. So, quarter inch steel. Yeah, following this, whatever the court decides, it may be good to revisit the rule. You guys feel in your judgment that this is not going to be an issue. You'll see in the comments from the reviewing engineer on our side that there is no objection provided, but a condition clear zone width from the edge of travel way maintained per the text dot line manual. That's to do with how far offset the pipe is from edge of road. I don't think that there's an objection from you guys about that. Yeah. So the second thing would be this is for driveway culverts. This request is for driveway culverts only under the driveway regulations, not as a general variance for all pipes in the subdivision. Just they don't ask for other than that, but I just want to be clear about that.
Yeah, and the only other question I had was the speed limits throughout the subdivision are 30.
So I'd seen in the subdivision regulations that for local streets, it is 30.
Okay. So I'm just making sure the higher speeds, you have to have the slope tins and all that. Everything's up to 30 though, or everything's 30.
30 and below.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's the speed limit was considered when we reviewed the variance because that's right.
Were you not doing concrete head walls? And this says rock, brick, stone, or stucco.
Oh, can I speak? All right. Okay.
Go state your name for Ms. French.
Yes, my name is Thomas Yeager from High Development. So the intention was to do concrete head walls with a cladding, typically of brick or stone. There'll be a ledge on the bottom of it. But yeah, the intention is to use RCP and pipe and then concrete head walls that are poured in place.
Setting everything in stabilized sand.
Yes, sir.
I didn't go through all of it.
I like the little head walls.
I guess.
I'm happy to comment more if you want.
No, I just.
Sometimes it's best not to say too much.
Yeah. They're saying concrete.
You might want to.
Yeah.
Talk yourself right out of it.
With the letter from GLS requires the clear zone width from edge of pavement. Along the conditions, with the conditions. We would believe item 43 was contingent on the conditions of the GLS letter. So dated. I don't have a copy. Dated letter. Y'all see the copy?
Here it is. Right here, Craig.
Got it.
Yeah, you can have it.
I got it.
Got it.
I'm sure. I haven't seen
Yeah,
this.
make sure they're good with it. Yeah, read the letter.
Sorry, Nolan Majeski with Odyssey Engineering.
No, but I haven't seen that letter either.
Oh.
So make sure you're good with it.
Oh, let him read it and we got one up here. Thank you.
Huh? There's not.
I got one somewhere if you need another one.
Got one on
I
email.
seen it last night. I think mine was actually up in the front.
Let's
Yeah, wasn't it?
free zone with edge of travel, maintain, yeah.
No, I read it.
Yeah, they just don't.
You good with it?
Yes, it did.
See, that's an individual email. It wasn't in the-
All right, he's good.
I like
Right.
that.
Go ahead.
I'm good.
We got a motion.
Second.
It's policy. Change.
I don't see no use to change the policy.
I'm just saying, if there's a policy change at some point, granting this variance to the driveway regulations for the subdivision.
I would say.
Yeah.
With the life of the.
I would say go through the whole thing. I mean, you wouldn't want them to be halfway
Half and
in,
half.
change the policy.
I know.
So just let them.
They'd be grandfathered in.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a motion.
You okay with that?
Motion second, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. 44, discuss and take action on Frontier Communications utility installation request for HDPE conduit and copper cable for the relocation work for existing utilities.
This is already. This is Jones Reserve, right? Reserve copper cable. I just need to,
I think crossing drainage ways.
outside of our right of way, right? This is the one they're moving.
Okay,
Was that a second?
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. No executive session. Any public comments? Questions from media? Commissioners Court.